Hi, everybody. This is Kathy. I wanted to do an inner child healing reading for all of us today. I know that one of the things that we love about card reading, oracle, or tarot is the way they can divine the things that have not happened yet, but the oracle cards or the tarot cards are also amazing tools for self reflection and also, to get to know ourselves better, to see where we can become better people, right? What area of our life requires healing, requires tending, requires love and care. So let's do three separate readings for today, and this will be about how we can tend to our inner child, how we can heal the wounds of the past. Okay, so we'll choose three cards that will represent the three readings that we will be doing. What does it mean, inner child healing? Well, okay, let's talk about that a little bit. Well, for me, it means anything that has happened in our childhood where we didn't feel heard or loved, or we felt like there was a lack of care, we didn't feel like we belong. Any event that led us to feeling like we weren't enough. And that sometimes informed how we viewed the world, how we viewed life, and that also informed how we acted towards the world and towards the people around us. It can also have formed the basis of how we conduct ourselves in adult relationships. And what we want to be really now as adults, we want to be free, right? We want to be free of any influence, any past belief that has limited us, that has made us small. So we want to be as expansive and as free as possible. And the only way to do that is to heal parts of ourselves that require healing, that requires tending. Okay, so let's go on and pick three cards from this beautiful deck that's really made for inner child work. It's called the Inner Child Oracle. Okay. We'll be exclusively using that deck. Oop, didn't work. So let's pick three cards to represent the three readings, three separate readings that we will do today. There you go. Three. So we'll turn them over. You can already choose. If you feel compelled to already pick one card, if your intuition is telling you to pick one of these already, you can go ahead. But I'll also turn them over. You might want to choose by seeing the picture. So the first pile or the first reading is represented by this card. It says, "There is hope ahead. Have courage and take heart, for there is hope." That represents reading number one, or pile number one. Pile number two, for our second reading, this is the card that represents it. Speak to yourself with kindness. Become aware of how you speak to yourself. And then pile number 3, or reading number 3, is represented by this card. Spend time in nature. Let the beauty of nature refresh your soul. Okay. So you can take long, deep breaths at your own pace. And when you are ready, when you feel grounded, when you feel calmed, you can go ahead and pick a card that resonates most with your intuition. Okay? Now, if you want to pick using crystals, okay, I have 3 here that we can choose from. Okay, let's choose this one to represent pile number 1. This tiger's eye to represent pile number 2. I think this is a lapis lazuli to represent pile number 3. Okay? Now, when you've made your choice, you can refer to the timestamps that I posted in the description box, and you can jump right into the reading that you have chosen, or the pile you have chosen. Reading number 1, or pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Okay? I'll see you in your reading. Hi again. So if you picked the first pile with this card and this crystal, welcome to your reading. So this will be part of the reading. This will actually represent the perfect environment where our healing can take place. And what it says is, there is hope ahead. So it does not describe a physical environment, but it describes an internal or mental state. No? It describes a state of, yes, hopefulness, of trusting that we can change and that we can change our circumstances, or that there is hope that we can break cycles. That's not easy when we have not known anything else, right? But that is the perfect environment for your inner child healing. Let's get other cards to give us more insight. Okay. Just give me a few more shuffles. I just want to make sure that they're really shuffled well. Okay. So we'll get one card first to represent the challenge, the potential challenge, or the current challenge that our healing is facing. This is what we are being called to do, the action that you are being called to take. This card represents what needs protecting in the process. And this card represents the jewel at the end, or the reward at the end of the process. Okay, so what is the challenge that is facing us? Know the way. It feels like we said, we don't even know where to start. This feels like someone who doesn't even know where to start because they haven't seen anything different than what they've gone through before. Perhaps perhaps it's like it's a cycle. It's like a family cycle that you are being faced to break. That's not easy, because perhaps even the extended family has similar patterns that need breaking. And so that is the challenge, not knowing where to start, when to start, how to do it, how it looks like. But this one really, I feel like these two cards speak to each other. It's asking you, even though you don't know where you are going, if you undertake this process of wanting to heal, of wanting to break that cycle, you will be assisted. No, believe that you can change it, that there is hope, because that's where it all begins. You have to know that it can be different. Okay, the action that you are being called to take, it says here, listen. Your inner child has something to say. Wow, look at this. We may not have the language to explain why what we have been through or what needs changing, but somehow I think you feel it innately that this is not how it's supposed to be. And you're being asked to listen to that intuition, to listen to that voice, to trust it, to trust it. Your intuition is not just, it's not just always your ego, right? It is also the way through which divine speaks to you. And so if it's a persistent feeling of this is not right, this should be different, then follow it. Follow it. Listen to it. Know that you are being guided and that you are being supported through your higher wisdom, through your intuition. Okay? What needs protecting in this process? Be true to who you are. Yeah. You know, you know what happened. You have witnessed it or experienced it. You know how you felt. You may not have had the words to express how you felt. But now you probably have wider vocabulary, both emotional and verbal vocabulary, you know, to recognize what has happened. And stick to that story, stick to your truth. Don't allow anyone else to change it, no, to change your personal narrative, especially if it's to benefit, you know, others, or to remove responsibility from others. I feel like this is really encouraging you to trust yourself. This one speaks to each other. You know, it really feels like you're being called to trust yourself. The potential reward at the end of this process, if you wish to undertake it, if you decide to undertake it, it says, let love guide you. Choose to see the good in the world today. Wow. You know what this feels like? You will see the world differently. You will begin to see the world. The reward is you will begin to see an alternate future. You will begin to see life and the world in a different way, in a more magical way, actually. Look, you can see rainbows. This person also looks like a saint, right? And it feels like this person is about to walk on water somehow, like she's in prayer. So it also feels like a person who is more connected, you know, with their own spirit or with God or with nature or with the universe, you know. And the reward is just feeling that and trusting that you have more guidance, that you have more support than you think you have always. Wow. You know, honestly, this is, I didn't like foresee how all these readings were going to turn out. But I hope that the insights that were given here will be helpful and informative and encouraging for you. Okay, I'll see you in another reading. Hi again. So if you pick pile number 2 with this card and with the tiger's eye crystal, welcome to your reading. So this card will represent the perfect environment for the healing to take place. And so what does it say? It says speak to yourself with kindness. So the perfect environment where healing can take place is not talking about a physical space. It's talking about a mental or psychological space, no? Where you notice yourself speaking words with more compassion, less criticism to yourself. We all do this, no? To some extent. We can be compassionate to others, but we can be judgmental to ourselves in all ways. No, it can be in small ways. It can also be in big ways. But for healing to take place, it feels like you're being called to have more compassion and kindness to yourself. Notice what you say to yourself. No, sometimes we don't anymore. No, we just blurt it, or we just think it. I'm not trying hard enough. I'm lazy. I'm a procrastinator. I can't do it. Right? But it says here that healing can take place faster, sooner, if we notice how we speak to ourselves, right? If you notice how you speak to yourself. So here we go. Let's get more cards from the deck to have more insight, to receive more insight. So we'll pick several more cards. One card will represent the challenge that we might face along the way. Another card will represent the potential outcome. Another card will represent what needs protecting. And the last card will represent the reward. The reward at the end. Okay, so this will be, it represents the challenge. This represents the potential outcome. No? This represents what needs protecting in the process. And the last card below will be the reward at the end of this process. Okay, so first let's turn over the card that represents what challenge might be facing us in this process. Okay, it says here communication. For me, this means communication because it says write a letter. Write a letter to your inner child. Oh, wow. So that reflects. That reflects. Perhaps this is an adult who has negative self-image. Perhaps you were not supported, or your gifts were not supported, or you didn't feel like you were listened to or accepted by others. And now this is the lack that you need to fill, no? But it feels like you are being asked not to look outwards, not to look for outward validation, no, but to give it to yourself from within. Like, speak to yourself with kindness, communicate with yourself, communicate to the young version of yourself, right? and give that child the acceptance, the kindness, the support, the encouragement, no, that that child needed, and the child probably still needs. So this is the potential outcome, or this can also be what you're being called to do, the action that you're being called to take. It says here, let love guide you. Choose to see the good in the world today. Sometimes it's easier for us, no? To see the good outside of ourselves. See the good in nature, see the good in another people, see the good in a community, an organization. Sometimes it starts there. And then we can begin to see, practice also, seeing the good within, right? So this is a good, for me, that's a good advice, or it's a good salve for this. Okay, so what needs protecting in the process of healing? It says here, again, wow, it just repeats, huh? You are worthy. You are worth it all, my love. So it feels like it is just echoing. No? To always keep in mind and always to focus that you are worthy, right? Even though you received perhaps a different message when you were younger, know that the universe and your spirit guides, no, are supporting you, and they all feel that you are worthy. If you weren't, you would not exist. If you did not count, you would not exist, right? But the fact that you are present right now, it means that you are worthy. It means that you have a gift to give to the world. It means that you matter and that your energy is present for a reason. No? You are here for a reason. Okay, and whatever that reason is, it benefits not just you, but it benefits all the people that you touch, all the people whose lives you will touch. And the potential reward at the end of this process, it says here, you deserve to be seen. Let yourself be known. It feels like stepping into your power, not having shame, no, allowing yourself to reveal to others, to reveal to the world who you truly are, no, spots and all, literally spots and all. That feels like confidence, right? That feels like not that you don't care what other people say, but this feels like your inner voice, when you have changed that communication pattern within, your inner voice will be much louder than the voice of the outside world. And you will listen to that, and you will believe it, and you will know it to be true. Nice. Okay. I hope that is insight that you can think about, and insight that can help you. Okay, I'll see you in another reading. Hi again. So if you pick pile number 3, represented by this card, and represented by this crystal lapis lazuli, welcome to your reading. So this will be part of the spread. This will be part of the reading. This will represent the ideal environment in which healing of your inner child can take place. And so, what does that mean? Spend time in nature. Let the beauty of nature refresh your soul. Let's get other cards to expand and also to give us more insight. You know, it feels like when you say spend time in nature, if that is the perfect environment that will give you healing, it feels like spending time alone. This feels to me like someone who keeps themselves busy or surround themselves with other people to avoid perhaps to avoid confronting some past wounds or inner child wounds. So it feels like the perfect environment for healing is to spend quality, loving time alone. Okay, so let's see. So this first card should represent the challenge that we need to get over. This represents the action that you are being called to take. This represents what needs protecting in this process. And this card represents the jewel at the end, or the price at the end, the potential reward. Okay. So first, let's open this, which represents the challenge that we need to surmount. Okay. It says get lost. Fall deep into the realm of imagination. And so I feel like this echoes each other. Like I said, it feels like someone who escapes. Like someone who escapes. That's why the healing environment that is required is for you to take time alone so that you can really bravely, kindly, and compassionately confront the past. No, this card in the place of challenge, no, it feels like it's someone that is begging to be found again. No, someone who feels, you might feel a little lost. You might feel inauthentic, right? Which is not uncommon. It's not a judgment. We all do what we can to survive. We all do what we can to cope. No? And perhaps for others, surrounding themselves with noise, with other people, with distractions, will allow them to cope until they are ready to face, right? When they are ready to face themselves, the truth of what happened, or the pain of the past. Okay, so that is the challenge. What you are being called to do, it says here, emotions are the reflection. Look for the deeper meaning. Nice. It's so literal. I know when we avoid, you can have bursts, right? Just bursts of unexplained reaction, like emotional bursts, and you don't know where they're coming from. But really, they're stemming from an event that has happened before, right? That has happened in your childhood, but you couldn't react the way you can now, or perhaps you did not have the language to express how you felt or what has happened. And so this feels like, yes, feel the emotions you are feeling. Confront them and ask yourself, where is this coming from? Right? It feels too big for this current incident. What is this event reminding me of, right? About my childhood. What is this event today reflecting about what has happened in my childhood? You know, whatever this emotion is bringing up, just simply recognize it, right? Sometimes when we can define it, when we can name it, right, it becomes lighter, it becomes easier to manage. It also becomes easier to heal. Okay, so this one represents what needs protecting in the process. And it says, you deserve to be seen. You know, it feels like not to be afraid, right? Not to be afraid to express. It's go ahead. So it feels like someone who was not able to express a lot of emotions, or their natural reactions were suppressed. So, what needs protecting in this process is that you are able to express what you feel. Perhaps you need to talk to someone who has great compassion for you, who has no judgment, or you can talk to a professional, right? Because they are trained to do that, and they're also not emotionally, personally invested. So it can help you. Okay, so the potential reward at the end of this process is, oh my gosh, look at that. Whoa, set boundaries, claim your power, and know your value today. Wow. We all know. We all know the value of having boundaries now. Physical, energetic, emotional boundaries. The reward of at the end is being able to set it. That's a very healthy and precious thing now, right? To know where I begin and end, and other people where they begin and end as well. Their energetic, their energy, their emotions, and even within space, right? We can say, I need to be alone, I need to process this on my own. You can do that in a way that is healthy. You will know what you need and you can ask for it with no apologies. That is great. That is maturity. And that is empowered, right? I hope this reading gave you insight and gave you some kind of path to healing. Okay? I'll see you in another reading. So I hope for all of you who have made it this far, I hope the readings are not only insightful, but they are encouraging for you and they are hopeful for you, because so far in all of the readings, they are all very encouraging, and not one reading said that it's impossible to heal our childhood or past wounds, that there is always hope, that we can always be empowered, that we can break cycles, that we can choose an alternate future than what we have seen or perceived for us before. Okay? So thank you. If you want to receive more readings in the future, don't forget to subscribe. Okay? I'll see you next time. Bye.